Hey, hope everyone's doing all right. Um, I'm 33, so if you're around my age, and especially if you're older, you've probably noticed that this timeline that we're living in right now is a tumultuous one, to say the very least, in good and bad ways. I was born in 1986, so I don't remember the 80s, but looking at it now, we went from like this kind of neon, big hair, innocent, fun, kind of not taking itself very seriously decade to the 90s, which is the decade I grew up in, and me and all my friends. And it was all about South Park and Marilyn Manson and Jerry Springer. And then right after the 90s, it's like, oh, what are we gonna do now? What's our identity gonna be going from here? And that's when the internet came about. And it's like this timeline is so incredible to me. Like I feel so blessed that I've gotten to see so much crazy shit in my life already. Like just in 30 years, we went from corded phones on the walls to all the information that's ever existed on a piece of plastic in your pocket. That's crazy. Um, and then in the world, I've seen. I mean, we went through 9/11 and all these terrorism attacks and all the craziness. And then this year alone, in the middle of a pandemic, um, all these riots and protests are taking place. And it just seems like this shift that everyone's been talking about, this big dramatic change, we're witnessing it. And we have been for a while. Um, we're in such a weird time in society that everyone's kind of on the internet and everyone's kind of locked into their own thing, and there's a lot of distractions, and people may not be recognizing exactly what's going on outside of the fucking computer. But the real world has gone through such a change. It's a completely different place than I remember as a kid, and that I even remember from 10 years ago. And it's not all bad, because as people, we got a lot of changes to make. And hopefully, we come out the other side of the storm thinking more progressively and just more kind to each other, as stupid and hippie as it sounds. Um, there's a lot of craziness and a lot of technological progression and a lot of protesting, but I'm not seeing a lot of love. Um, so hopefully that's where it leads. It's a crazy time, but a lot of it's coming from a good place from people. We're Everyone's sick of it. Everyone's sick of how they're treated and how this place is, and it's great to see. I'm However you feel about the protests and the riots and stuff, the fact that everybody's rising up is incredible. Um, because it's everywhere. It's not just the people that feel personally wronged. It's everywhere, and it's not just in America. It's everyone's swinging back. It's amazing to see. But I mean, if you believe in, like, I could have been born in Indonesia in the 1800s, or I could have been um, back in the Roman times, or you could have been in biblical times, or wherever you fall in on the timeline. I ended up here, and in these 30 years, the craziest stuff has happened. And I don't know if I'm just lucky or coincidentally just ended up here, or if I was meant to witness this. If this was part of my plan the whole time, was to see all this go on and to raise a daughter in this world, which I barely recognize anymore. Um, it's got to be a test. It's got to be a test to see who I am at the end of this thing, and who we all are as people. Because I feel very positive about it. And, the media is not going to want to pick up on the positivity of everything, because news stories don't sell as well if you just say, a couple hundred nonviolent protesters walked down the street today, as opposed to, here's a quick video of a brick going through a window. It's easy to focus on that, and that's just another distraction. That's just more negativity to be pushed aside. Um, there's a lot of good shit happening lately. I think we just gotta hang on.